Hello and welcome to Ecoholics. So, as you are aware that RBI Grade-B DEPR notification is out and the examination is on 2nd July. So, this video is all about how to prepare for this examination and what should be the strategy that you will follow to clear the exam. So right now we can say approximately 3 months are left, and what you can do in these 3 months, that is very important, and that these are the things we will discuss in today's lecture. Apart from that, if you have any doubt, anything required to need a clarity, you can contact directly to my WhatsApp number that is given on this screen. As well as there are a lot of videos on RBI Grade-B strategy, previous year papers, the analysis, that links are given in the description. So let's start to understand that what is the demand of 2022 examination and what kind of strategy that we will follow in order to qualify the 2nd July exam. Now RBI is a very important examination. If we compare about, people compare it with UPSC Indian Economic Service as well. So here we need to see that what are the important things that we can do to clear the exam. Department of Economic Policy and Research. So RBI conducts the examination, RBI Grade-B examination, what we call. So I'll just tell you what is it. So first, if you are new to this examination, Grade-B, they conduct 3 examinations under it. One we call general, the second what we call DEPR, and another one is DSIM. So general, any graduate can give. DEPR, economics postgraduate and MBA finance student can give, and this is about statistics. So what we are focusing in this video is about DEPR only. So what we'll do is we'll discuss what should be the strategy to qualify the exam. Now RBI Grade-B DEPR, this is we will discuss. So examination is on 2nd July 2022. Notification is out. 31 vacancies are there, and that is like more than enough to qualify. You just need only 1 seat. So what we need to do for this, approximately 3 months are left, and what we will do, what kind of strategy we need to follow, these are the things that we will discuss. Number one thing, that this examination is conducted under first, second and the interview phase. Okay. So under first phase, there will be MCQ based examination. Under phase 2, there will be subjective as well as your typing test that will be conducted. So we'll see one by one what is it. Now this examination, the majority questions will be from economics. Number 1 subject to focus is microeconomics. They'll ask a lot of questions from microeconomics. Second, they will ask questions from macroeconomics. Third major subject for this examination is statistics. Statistics they will ask a lot. Then econometrics or ecotrix, whatever you call. And fifth at last, they will ask the question from mathematical economics. Now these are the things I told you many times in my live classes whenever we teach the students. Right now also we are starting with the live batch that I'll tell you the details later, as well as the test series. Now these 4 subjects, top 4, consist 90% of phase 1 exam. Okay, I'll tell you the exam pattern right now. So micro, macro, stats, econometrics, major. And what about mathematical economics? So they ask mathematical concept which are applicable to these 2. Okay, so it means mathematical economics directly will not come. Whatever they do is they ask to solve micro and macro concepts with the use of some mathematical concepts. Okay, 1 or 2 questions will come from current affairs. So this is like very easy questions that they will ask regarding current affairs, but the questions from these 5 subjects will not be very easy. So what you have to do, you have to prepare well. Now we'll see what's the exam pattern. Exam pattern for phase 1 I'm discussing here, okay. Phase 2 will come in a minute, okay. Phase 1, question total 62 they will ask. Maximum marks they will give is 100. Okay, so if you qualify somewhere around 60 marks, you'll be able to clear this phase 1. Now under phase 1, there will be 3 sections, okay. Under section 1, 23 questions will be there. Under section 2, this another 23 questions they will ask. So it's 46, and the remaining is 16 questions they will ask in section 3. So phase 1, this is the pattern. Under phase 2, they will ask subjective paper of Indian economy, where the questions will come on the screen and you have to write the paper, okay. And English paper. So that you have to use, that you have to give the exam by using the keyboard. So this is both 3 hours each, that is of 100 marks, okay. And then interview, okay. Then interview is kind of a personality test, so we can say PT, personality test. It will be oral, okay. So now we are focusing on this because this is on 2nd July and phase 2 is on 6th August, and interview dates will come after completion of this. Now what is important here to understand is phase 1 is not qualifying. It means you have to qualify the phase 1 in order to give phase 2, but as an aggregate, all 3 marks will be there in the merit. So it means if you score well above the cutoff in phase 1, it will give benefit to you in the final selection. There are many students qualified from Ecoholics. What their experience is, if you want to qualify the exam, phase 1 is the key to this, because these are MCQ based. If you qualify good, subjective we can't say, because in subjective there will be a thing that someone else's answer is different from some other students, but both will get the same marks. So subjectivity comes into the picture. But here in MCQ, if you know the answer, you can mark it correct, okay. So this is the scheme of the exam that is currently going to held, okay. What we will help you is, we can provide you a lot of things. For example, mentorship. Now under mentorship, if you want to understand this exam, you can contact on this number 7880107880 to get more clarification over the exam with our subject experts, faculties and the counselor. So they will help you in order to understand this exam. Now what is the strategy? If I talk about strategy, under strategy, this is MCQ based. So MCQ based means facts and figures are important. If I talk about the type of question, they will ask questions from theory as well as numerical, or we can say practical questions, okay. So both, we can say in micro, macro, both the possibility is there. But in talk about stats and econometrics, they will not ask about high calculation, because they will not give the calculator, not the physical calculator, not the on-screen calculator. So the numericals they will ask, it will be like a representative or equation based numericals. Like you have to calculate cost function, like you have to calculate the ISLM model, like you have to calculate some probability. These are very simple numericals which does not require major calculation. Okay, so theory as well as practical, both are important. But here, let me tell you one thing, that conceptual clarity is the most important part. Okay, a lot of students ask me that, sir, is it same as UGC NET? I would say UGC NET level, if we can say this is the, we can say scale, if I talk about 0 to 10, on a 0 to 10 scale, if I rate the difficulty of UGC NET, so UGC NET will come somewhere here. But if I talk about RBI, it will come here. So you can imagine that if you try to qualify the exam, UGC NET is at this place and RBI DEPR is at this place, the difficulty level. So it is equivalent to, we can say, some of the questions from MA entrance exam, like we can say the post-graduation entrance examination, they will ask some questions from that. Few questions, few direct questions, they can be equivalent to UGC NET examination. So, but the practical level and the theory both requires conceptual clarity. It's not about calculation, it's about if you are conceptually clear, you will be able to answer those questions. Okay. Now, if we talk about the strategy again, the continuing thing. In microeconomics, focus majorly on functions. If you are well versed with functions, that is a very important part. If you know the functions, that will help you, like cost functions, and there are several type of numericals like utility functions. If you are able to do that, you will be able to qualify. The next is market structure. They ask questions from market structure. Major questions will come. For example, that the shape of the curves, the direction of the curves. So they will ask questions like that. And last is theory. In theory, they ask conceptual clarity. They ask exemptions to particular law. They ask questions from Hicks and Slutsky model. That's a very conceptual clarity you need in order to qualify that. So these are the major portion where you can get question. Under macroeconomics, topics like ISLM, topics like national income, the numericals, topics like, we can say, the national income and other areas, question like the methodologies. So methodologies, they will ask methodology in terms of calculating national income, and there are different types of amalgamation with national income in the ISLM. So that expenditure method, the equations and something like that. They'll not ask major questions from international economics, especially in the phase 1, but they may ask few questions which is like macro mix international. So I can say here few questions you'll get from international economics, which is of the nature of macro as well. So it means like balance of payment, something concepts like they will ask questions here. Okay. Now if I talk about other areas, stats and econometrics. Now under statistics, probability. Okay, probability is the most important topic. Then apart from that, correlation and regression. So correlation and regression, important topic again. Then certain formulas that they will ask in order to put the value and get the answer. Under econometrics, they will ask certain models. So they will give the value and you have to put those value into the models. And under econometrics, they will ask the concepts, lot of concepts like multicollinearity, heteroscedasticity, and these other things. So if you want that to understand, there's a YouTube video of mine, you can watch that, and there's a link given in the description as well as in the playlist section you'll get. So these are the things focusing on RBI phase 1. Now if I draw a timeline, starts with, we can say, in the month of April. So I'm making this video just few days before April. Then May, June, okay. July is your exam and August is your phase 2 exam. So we'll devise a strategy here in order to understand the pathway. So you can say approximately, I can say 30 days, just for example. For example, we can say, so almost 90 days you are having. And then you will give the exam on 2nd July. And then the phase 2 is on 6th August. So this is the first time RBI has given more than 30 days between these phase 2. Okay. So what we will do is, we'll start in the April. So the batch is starting from 27th March. That's the batch starting date, live classes. That I'll tell you the details. So if you see April, May, June, what you have to study here? Here you have to study microeconomics, macroeconomics. Here you have to study stats and econometrics. These are the 4 subjects that you have to focus in, okay, totally, for 2nd July exam, okay. Now in the gap, you'll get 30 days. Do answer writing practice. So answer writing, okay, and plus few subjects like Indian economy and growth and development. Few topics that I'll tell you, only selected, no need to study fully, okay. So this is plus. This is the best strategy. You start with microeconomics, simultaneously you can study macro, and then switch to stats and econometrics. So the order should remain same. If the order should remain same, that will help you in order to understand the later subjects. This is a strategy that a lot of students followed. Okay, if you see that some of the students in the past they followed, and their interviews are on our YouTube channel as well, you can refer to their strategy. So it is devised from my experience. I have experience of last 5 times this examination that they have conducted. I have given the exam, qualified also. So these are the things that you will get in the examination hall. Right now you are getting on this YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe Ecoholics, and you'll get a lot of videos till RBI, the examination that they will conduct. So this is a strategy if you follow. It's a broad strategy. Now we'll work on the micro level strategy. Now under micro level strategy, if you go, it's kind of, we can say, you'll get 24 hours in a day. You can say, you can divide into 8 hours. So 8 hours for your sleep and basic necessity. It means whatever you'll do like food and bathing, etc. So 8 hours gone. Another 8 hours if you are a working professional, then working. And this last 8 hours you have to spend on study. So it can be varied, like 8 or maybe sometimes 7, because if you are traveling to work somewhere, etc., etc. So these 8 hours are very important. Now we'll divide those 8 hours in order to understand the exam. Okay, so 8 hours you have in a day. Now how to divide it? Focus 2 hours on reading. Okay, reading is very important. Focus 1 hour on newspaper. That is only editorial section related to economics. Okay, only editorial section related to economics. Do not focus any other place. Okay, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours gone. Then again 2 hours you focus on solving questions. So solving question doesn't mean that you just for 2 hours you solve. What you have to do, when you get a multiple choice question, you get a question here, then option A, option B, option C, and option D. So when we give the test series to you, suppose the answer to this question is B, but you have to see why A, why not C, why not D, what is the reason behind it, what are the questions so that their answer can be D, C, A. So it means it's not giving one MCQ, just just take it and move forwards. It's the total analysis which is required. Why not D, why not C, why not A, why only B? If you change the language of the question, what will be the effect on the answer? So these kind of analysis you have to do. So solving MCQ, here I can write MCQs, multiple choice questions. Okay, 5 hours gone, 3 hours. Again 3 hours, focus on reading. Okay. Now reading is important because you have to cover the syllabus. Coverage is very vital. Now the question arises, what to read in these 5 hours and which newspaper we need to follow. Okay. So newspaper, any newspaper. I prefer Financial Express. Simple in language, not very technical or financial. You can even like to go Mint newspaper. These are the two newspaper. Or you can go to Business Line, whatever you prefer. So just focus on the language. In terms of language, this is the hierarchy. First the easiest, then and then at last. So this is the time period. Now what you have to do in those 5 hours? How to read? Now reading is very simple. Generally what you do is you start reading line by line. Okay. Now you don't have to read line by line because you have to remember that particular line after 3 months. So what you will do is you will read the line. So suppose you are reading something and then you take a pause after full stop and look at front and try to process that line. Okay. So reading the quality content is very important because you don't have much time to read by like with this speed. This speed requires a lot of time and you don't have time. So what you have to do, you need some expert advice, and for that we are here obviously. But in terms of reading that particular line, read it slowly. It's not a race that I will finish this micro in 5 days. It's not like that. What you have to do is you have to read and grasp the information. In the examination hall, pressure will be there, and when the pressure is there, our efficiency goes down. Our skill of taking decision goes down. So when you are conceptually clear, and when you are conceptually clear, when you read slowly. So this is how you have to follow the reading habit. Okay. Next thing is how to make notes. It's a common question a student asks on my WhatsApp number. That's why I'm making this video. Now how to make notes. Simple fact that here the examination is not written, especially in the phase 1. So what you have to write only the important facts. Okay. If I ask you a very simple question, answer in the comment section. If I ask you Hicks substitution effect and Slutsky substitution effect in microeconomics, the question is which one is better for the consumer? These kind of questions will ask. So you can just pause the video and give the answer. I hope you have given the answer. So facts are really important. Which one is important for consumer's point of view? Now obviously the answer is Slutsky, because Slutsky shifts the consumer from one indifference curve to the higher one. That's why. But under Hicks, the consumer remains on the same indifference curve. So facts are important. So here you can write these kind of facts. Like what's the shape of MC curve? What's the shape of AC curve? So just write few lines, factual information. Do not make another book in terms of note making. You read from the book and write it in your language and write it in only bullet points. Notes can never be made in paragraph. Notes are always in terms of bullet points only. Try not to stretch, write only one single sentences. Okay, maybe less. Okay, I hope you understand this. If you have doubt, you can answer that in the comment section. And apart from that, we are here for you. So whatever the course that we are starting, you'll get the live classes, and those live classes will also be accessed later on. So the recorded available will be there. Hard copy study material, that is crisp, concise material. Don't have to look to this book, that book, RBI report, economic survey. There are several things. This material will suffice. Weekly test you will get to test your skill, like whatever you are reading, your progress will test that. So that is equivalent to RBI level. And let me tell you, RBI doesn't release their question papers. So we have an experience of last 5 times that examination has been conducted. First-hand experience. So we know what kind of pattern they ask. Next is model answer. For phase 2, you'll get model answers, like how to write answer. Like you are saying that, sir, this is we can understand, but what to write? So you'll get a model answer for that. Evaluated answer copies you'll get before the next test, so that you can improve or you can rectify your mistakes before the next test. Current affairs PDF, all the latest. So in newspaper, read only editorial section in order to understand the concepts. But information are also important. So information you'll get from current affairs PDF exclusively for RBI students. One-to-one facility, call facility with the faculties and the subject experts. Having any doubt, just pick up phone and call on our number. And unlimited doubt resolution. All kind of support is there. Live classes, you can directly chat. You can later on call. You can ask on email. You can ask on WhatsApp. Whatever mode is comfortable for you. And at last, you'll get a mentorship session. These mentorship session will give you the strength to qualify the exam. Let me tell you, everyone is aware about what to study, what not to study. But it's about mental strength that will clear the exam. So I hope you understand this, what I said, and you will implement and qualify the exams. If you like the video, give a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe Ecoholics, because we'll be giving you a lot of updates regarding RBI examination, Indian Economic Service, and there are various other examinations that has been conducted. So stay tuned to Ecoholics and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much.